It may be short, but Bowser's Fury is an impressive next step for the 3D Mario series that delivers non-stop fun and satisfying platforming. Nintendo continues to make gameplay innovations and improvements with their iconic red plumber, and this is one of his best adventures yet. Bowser's Fury has a simple setup. Bowser is furious and you have to get him back to normal. The world of Lake Lapcat is huge. It's easily one of the biggest open areas in any 3D Mario game. There are many islands for you to explore, and each has a variety of different platforming challenges. This game is an interesting mix between linear and more open game design. The islands all have fairly linear challenges, but they're all connected in a big open world for you to run around in. The main objective here is to get cat shines, and each island has many to collect. Once you complete an island's main objective and leave, when you come back a new challenge will be available. This happens seamlessly during gameplay, so you never have to stop playing. In fact, the whole game is a pretty seamless experience. You'll hardly ever have to stop having fun. There's no level select here. If you're done with an area, simply hop onto Plessie and ride somewhere else. And speaking of Plessie, she finally gets to be in the spotlight. Riding around on Plessie is pure fun. Jumping around and diving in and out of the water never gets old. And Plessie is always close by, so no matter what you're doing or where you are, she'll show up in the water near you. This is another reason the gameplay is so smooth. You never have to wait for anything. The cat shines are very similar to the moons in Super Mario Odyssey, where collecting them doesn't kick you out of the game. Bowser's Fury only has a total of 100 cat shines compared to Super Mario Odyssey's 999 moons. This is definitely a much shorter game than Odyssey, but that lets the game make each and every cat shine worthwhile. Because it only takes a couple hours to beat the game, there's hardly any filler, and this is definitely the easiest 3D Mario game to 100%. Nintendo has never made something quite like this before, a mini, bite-sized experience that isn't meant to be a full game. Obviously, this isn't as grand in scale as something like Super Mario Galaxy, but because of that, Bowser's Fury gets to be something totally unique. This game also introduces many new gameplay improvements into the 3D Mario series, and is very experimental in a lot of different ways. Power-ups are an essential part of the gameplay this time around, and you can even store a large number of them. This changes up the game so much, since you can change your moveset on the fly and at any time. If you see an obstacle that requires a certain power-up, it only takes a few seconds to get the power-up you need. Mario has always had power-ups, but never before could you access so many at the same time. Again, this adds to the seamless flow of gameplay. And during your adventure, you're not alone, as Bowser Jr. is also along for the ride. You get to decide how much he helps, which is a much appreciated option. You can tell Bowser Jr. where to go, and he can even interact with special world elements like painting walls to get power-ups. And if a second player joins, they get to control him. Bowser Jr. is a great addition into this game, and he adds even more variety to the gameplay. Mario doesn't control as well in this game as he did in Odyssey, but the movement is still precise and fun to master. His moveset is the same as it is in 3D World for the most part, although now you have full control over his movement instead of being limited to just 8 directions. Being able to sprint is really nice, and it's something I'd like to see in future games. You also now have a fully controllable 3D camera, which makes exploring much easier. This game definitely feels like a big, proper 3D Mario game, as well as still having 3D World's linear elements. And of course there's the new terrifying Fury Bowser. I thought Bowser from Super Mario Galaxy would stay the most epic version of Bowser, but I was wrong. Fury Bowser has now taken that title. Right from the start of the game, you can tell that this absolutely massive beast doesn't mess around. During his attacks, fire will rain down from above, spikes will crash into the ground, and Bowser will attack you with a huge blast of fire. To end these attacks, you must either collect a cat shine to scare him away, or simply outlast them. Fury Bowser's shell will always be in the background, and he'll continue attacking you throughout the game. But once you collect enough cat shines, you'll get access to the Giga Bell, which powers up Mario and lets you engage in an epic battle with Fury Bowser. The fight itself is pretty easy, but that doesn't make it any less fun. And running around Lake Lapcat as Giant Cat Mario is awesome. I also love how satisfying it is to pick up a giant spike and chuck it at Bowser's face. Defeating Fury Bowser will unlock more of the map for you to explore. These Fury Bowser fights keep the gameplay interesting, and it's a really creative experiment from Nintendo, but I do have a couple small problems with them. I like that they can happen at any time, but there's a surprising amount of cat shines hidden behind Fury blocks that can only be destroyed by Bowser's fire breath. This means that anytime he attacked, I had to decide if I should finish my current task or drop everything I was doing and desperately try to find some Fury blocks. If you abandon what you were doing, then you'll have to redo the whole thing. But if you don't, you'll probably end up waiting patiently by some Fury blocks hoping that Bowser will attack again. For a game that has such smooth and seamless gameplay, the Fury blocks can often be an annoying interruption. But luckily for this game, the platforming is so enjoyable that I actually didn't mind doing a few challenges again. And the only other complaint I have is that the game rushes you into the finale. Once you get a certain amount of cat shines, Fury Bowser will be attacking you permanently, leaving you no choice but to start the final boss fight. But those are just some minor complaints I had, and they really didn't negatively affect my overall enjoyment of the game that much. I can't go any longer without mentioning the music. As is usually the case with any 3D Mario game, the music here is incredible. From the perky, upbeat theme of Scamper Shores to the pure joy that is Plessie's music. I especially love Crisp Climb Castle, because it sounds like a beautiful mix between Super Mario Odyssey's Cap Kingdom and Snow Kingdom music. During Fury Bowser's attacks, there's this awesome heavy metal rock music that plays that fits perfectly. The Fury Bowser Showdown music is also amazingly epic, and it makes the fights so much better. And the super chill vibes from the Lake Lapcat music that plays while you're exploring create such a relaxing and enjoyable atmosphere. Music is always one of my favorite parts of any Nintendo game, and Bowser's Fury doesn't disappoint. As for the amount of content in this game, I think it's well worth the money since it's only half the package. You also get Super Mario 3D World, which was one of the best games on the Wii U. But this isn't a review of that game, this video is only focusing on Bowser's Fury. Since it's so short, Bowser's Fury is also highly replayable. I've already played through the game multiple times, and I'm sure I'll play it again in the future. There's just so much to enjoy here, and it's probably just a glimpse at what the future will bring for 3D Mario games. I thoroughly enjoyed every second I spent with this game, and even though it isn't very long, it's still one of the best things Nintendo has created on the Switch. This is some of the most fun I've had with a video game in a while. Bowser's Fury experiments with new ideas, streamlines the 3D Mario experience, and consistently put a smile on my face. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see ya in the next one.